Okay, so in this section, we have to calculate the volume of each prism. So what we're going to do first is identify. So I want you to have your formula sheets out. You can look here. The back page of the formula sheet is volume. Volume equals length times width times height. That's what that means. Length times, you can put a little bracket here, times width times height. And you can put a bracket in on your formula sheet. Write a note for yourself so you remember, multiply. Which number in my diagram would be referred to as the length? 2, 4, or 5? Which one's the length? Copper. 5, excellent. So label this L. It's the longest side. Which one's the width?
4 centimeters.
4, and what's the height?
2 centimeters.
Okay, so now to calculate it, we just multiply it all together. 5
Times 4 equals 20.
times 4 times 2. 40 centimeters cubed. I told you already. Now we have to identify what is the next shape. We're finding the volume of what? What shape is this?
Triangular prism.
Triangular prism. Good. Triangular prism.
Nice.
And what is the formula for triangular prism? There's 2 formulas there. So the easy one to use would be B, which is the base, times the length, times the height, divided by 2. This easier to do this way. Take the base. What's the base? What number?
18.
Good. What's the length?
18.
No.
What?
Look at your diagram. The length is part of the
8.
triangular base.
8. It's 8.
Base is 8. What's the length?
18.
20. Look at your diagram on your formula sheet. The length is the length from here to here.
Yes, that's the height.
The height is not attached to the base. That's the height. So we can flip this around. Okay, if you turn it around, the height is 18. So we're going to write 8 times, what's the length? 20 times the height. Divide all that by 2. Tell me what you get. Good. 1,440. What's the unit? Squared or cubed? Cubed. Okay, this one was 40. Okay, it might help to visualize this. We're drawing a cube. I'm going to draw a cube. Shh.
3D square.
What do we know about, what is similar about a cube? What do you know about a cube? If it's a cube, what does that tell you about all the side lengths? They're equal. So if the one side length is 2, it means the other side length is 2. And this side length is 2. A cube is the same formula. I don't know if you want to write this in your formula sheet. It will be the same formula as a rectangular prism because it is a rectangular prism. What is the formula for a rectangular prism? Times height. Good. Length times width times height. Cube has all the same dimensions. 2 times 2 times 2. What's the volume of this cube? 8 what?
Centimeters cubed.
Cubed. Good.
3, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're looking at the area of a triangular face of a paperweight. But we're trying to find the volume. Which shape, 3D shape, do you think would the paperweight be? If they're telling you it has a triangular face, what shape from this formula sheet, okay? We know that it's going to be a triangular prism because it has a triangular face. We know the area of the triangle, of the base. So they've already done part of the work for us. Okay, volume is equal to, look at your formula sheet, area of base times the height. And in this case, the height would be the thickness of it. So what's the area of the base? They've given us that part. We don't even actually have to calculate it. It's 30. And what's the height of this paperweight? Good. So what's the volume of the paperweight? 420 centimeters cubed. In this question, they're telling us that we're looking at a triangular prism. but the triangular face has a base of 4 millimeters and a height of 5 millimeters. Let's stop right there. Can you find the area of the triangular face? It's a triangle. What is the area of a triangle?
Base times height divided by two.
Good. So the area of the base, it's the base of the prism. If you look at your formula sheet, you can see what a triangular prism looks like. The base of it, I'll draw it right here. The base of it is a triangle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my triangular prism. The bottom, the base, is a triangle. It has a base of 4 millimeters and a height of what?
5.
So what's the area of that base of the triangle? 4 times 5 divided by 2
10.
equals 10 millimeters squared. Now we're going to find the volume. So this is what volume of a triangular prism is equal to the area of the base, which we just found. What is the area of the base?
10.
Okay, that's the area of the base, times the height.
14.
Go back to the question. What was the height of the prism? 14. So we're going to take 10 times 14, and that's going to give us the volume. 140 millimeters cubed. Okay, that's the volume. This is just them breaking it down into two parts. Find the area of the base, which is a triangle, then multiply it by the height. Find the volume of the following cylinders. This is easy. They've given you the shape name. What is the formula for volume of a cylinder?
Pi r squared times height.
Okay, I want you guys to circle that. Pi r squared times height. In the first example, what is r? What is the radius?
6.
That's a 5. What is the height?
14.
Good. So listen carefully, because if you don't do it this way, you're going to get it wrong, girls. Let's first figure out what your missing variables are, and then plug it in. Pi. What's r, Paulo? Not listening. 5 squared. What's the height, Danica?
14.
Good. You must do this first. Look here. You have to do the exponents first. 5 squared is 5 times 5. What's 5 times 5? So we have pi times 25 times 14. Okay, you have to multiply you have to do your exponents first. 5 times 5 is 25.
Can you go like 5 times 5 times 4?
Yes, you can do that, times pi. So what is the answer? It's on your formula sheets. Pi is approximately equal to 3.14. So when you're asked to use pi, I'll accept either. You can type in 3.14 or you can punch in the pi symbol if your calculator has one. Okay, so what's 3.14 times 25 times 14? 1,102.5 is what I got. Centimeters cubed. Okay, I made a mistake, sorry. It's 1,099?
Yes.
1,099 centimeters cubed, sorry.
Radius is 6.
Radius is half of the diameter, so it's 6. So we're going to do volume equals pi times radius squared times height is 45. What is 6 times 6? So it's pi times 36 times 45. And what is the final answer for the volume? 5,000.8 centimeters cubed. We have to figure out how many small boxes are needed to fill the larger boxes. The hint is find the volumes of the boxes. How many boxes are there? So we're going to find the volume of the small box. And then we have to find the volume of the large box. If it's a box, what is the shape of it?
It's a cube.
A rectangular prism. We don't know if it's not a cube because not all the side lengths are the same. Okay. What is the formula for volume of a rectangular prism? Length times width times. Okay. So let's start with the small one. Length times width times height. What are the dimensions? 15 by 20 by 4. Just multiply it together.
1,020.
15 times 20 times 4. And the large box, same thing, length times width times height. Dimensions are 100 by 80 by 60. So 100 times 80 times 60. Raise your hand when you've gotten the volume. 1,200 what? Centimeters. Good. And the large box is, yes, Michelangelo?
40.
Centimeters cubed. That's not what the question's asking. The question says, how many small boxes are needed to fill the larger boxes? So we're trying to figure out how many small boxes go into the larger boxes. What is the operation we're going to do here?
Subtraction.
We're taking the large box, 480,000, and divide it by 1,200, which is a smaller box. How many boxes approximately? 400 boxes.